Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to hashtag TNT JoeFi Tech News that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am your host, Jerome Ortega. Today is Friday, September 11th. Today is it's one of those days here in the US that, well, you know, 9/11. So I don't really have much words for that. It's something that I think a lot of us were around for. So anyway, just taking a moment to kind of bring that up. So also we'll move on. I'm not trying to um, reminisce too much about that. It's just it's something that every time this day hits, it's something that I think about. So guys, what's going on? Welcome. Today is Friday, TGIF. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Also, I'm sorry I'm so late today. I was actually I had a different show set up today, and then I decided a lot of people were talking about this story with Mark Lavoie. Somebody brought it up yesterday on the stream, and I wanted to put my 2 cents in here and talk about Mark Lavoie leaving Google and then talking about the Pixel 5 and how we don't need an upgrade when it comes to a 12 megapixel camera. Well, not that we don't need an upgrade, but the reason we're still using a 12 megapixel camera or still using the older Pixel 3, Pixel 2, Pixel 3 sensor, similar sensor regardless. Did my thing just hold on? Sorry. So we're going to get into that. Let me go ahead. God damn microphone. Okay. Sorry. So yeah, I kind of switched things around and I figured we could take a little time and we can go through some of my older videos, which is why I have earbuds in right now, because I wanted to go through them and actually see if everything that I've been talking about lately still holds true to how I feel about stuff. But let me go ahead and say hi to everybody in here. Edgar H. First, you are first, sir. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Edgar. Welcome, welcome. Jason Lim is in here as well. Camera comparison time. Yeah, I mean, it's still older camera comparison stuff, but we might as well take some time and go uh over if the Pixel 5 really does need a camera upgrade over the 4 or the 4A or the 4A 5G. Edgar also says, I missed it yesterday, but here I am today. Well, welcome, Edgar. Appreciate you stopping by when you can. So thank you. Thank you so much. Rom 4EG. Rom 4EG. How's it going, man? Hi. I don't think I've seen you in here before. I don't know if you're actually staying in here or you just wanted to get a shout out, but there you go. Welcome. Welcome. Brian is in here as well. TGIF, TNT Jofi. That's right. TGIF for sure. Six is in here as well. Saying what's up from Twitch. What's going on, Six? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Jason says a moment of silence to honor the victims of 9/11. Brian says the same thing. Salute to all those lost on 9/11. Yep, for sure. For sure. CH Gadgets is in the house. What's up, peeps? I Why do I laugh at peeps? I feel like that's a word I don't use anymore. What's going on, CH Gadgets? How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Paul Hendricks is in the house as well. Hey, what's going on, Paul? How you doing, man? Welcome, welcome. William Maya is in here as well. Sup, Jerome and chat. What's going on, William? How you doing, man? TGIF. Gboy888 is in here as well. Hello, everybody. Hello, what's going on, Gboy888? Welcome to the stream. So let's go ahead and let's there's other people saying hi. Let me say hi to Sean. What up, Jerome in chat? What's going on, Sean? Javier Hidalgo's in here as well. Yo, Jerome. Sean, Pixel Jerome. I know. I don't know if you just popped in, but I was saying I had a different show planned today. And then I said, you know what? Let's talk about the Pixel 5 and really figure out if we need an upgrade on this camera. CH Gadget says, can they upgrade it to do better than it's doing now, though? So that's the thing. We're gonna talk about that today, and we're gonna do that by watching some of my older videos, and it might give me a refresher because I haven't watched any of my. Here's the thing. I don't watch a lot of my old videos. I rarely do because I feel weird. But I want to see how that camera quality how it really compares to what I think is one of the best camera phones out today, which is the iPhone 11 Pro in terms of photo and in terms of video. So I want to discuss that. So we'll dig into that right now. So this first article I have here is about Mark Lavoie, one of the the engineer or one of the people behind the computational photography when it comes to the Pixel lineup of phones. I think he is one of the people who helped spearhead the whole software experience of the Pixel lineup and its success today. So a lot of people were talking about this article. Again, somebody brought it up yesterday, just a small blurb about it. I read a couple articles about it as well. Grant ended up sending something in my Discord. I see a super chat in here. I'll get to that in a second. And so I figured I would take some time, read about it, and then we'll go through some of my older videos and really compare the Pixel 4 and the iPhone 11 Pro, and if that iPhone 11 Pro is really that much better than the Pixel 4. But before I go in there, Bert Kuhn with a $5 super chat. Bert, thank you, man. Thank you for the support. You've been killing it with the support lately. Bert, thank you so much, man. I miss the old days when we would have a lot of OEMs like HTC, LG, Google, and Samsung launch flagship phones. Now all the phones are looking the same. I can't disagree. I think, here's the thing too, is there are so many it's not even the manufacturers. There are just so many phones now. I think there's a point where I'm just like, okay, like enough. It's way too much. I don't want to like have every single different tier of phones here, and then I have to pick apart what's better, what isn't. So yeah. Anyway, I agree. I agree. Bert with the $5 super chat though. Bert, thank you for the support, man. Always appreciate it. Thank you for going that extra step, mile, whatever you want to call it. I will be sure to again update my list for the September super chatters. I mean, you're on there. You're one of the top people there. So Bert, thank you again for the $5 super chat. Team Varai is in here as well, a bit late but dropping by. Hi everyone, what's going on, Team Varai? Nice to see you. Marcus A is in here as well. Hey everyone, Marcus, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. CH Gadget says, so what about the P40 Pro Plus? So yeah, I don't I still don't have my camera comparison out for that yet, but I do like the P40 Pro Plus. I think it's really best for a video. The telephoto lens kills it. The telephoto lens on the P40 Pro Plus is amazing. The wide angle lens is also really good. When it comes to the main shooter, the Pixel 4 is still really close. It really is. And I really just got to get that camera comparison out. Sean says Sony phones don't look the same this year, but the peak of smartphones is at its climax. I think so. I think it's come to the point where we've all seen the same things, and so a lot of people just they're not as excited as they used to be. Doesn't mean that we can't be. I still get excited for phones. It's just I think it's just a little different today than it was 5 years ago, than it was 10 years ago. But let's go ahead and let's read this article here. So, yes, I have block notifications. Thank you. This article from Tech Radar says the Google Pixel 5 may keep the Pixel 4's camera, and we might know why. So there's a little foreshadowing here that says if it ain't broke. So while the Google Pixel 5 will probably be an upgrade from the Pixel 4 in a number of ways, one thing that might not be changing much is the camera hardware. As rumors suggest, it will stick with the same 12.2 megapixel main sensor as its predecessor, and now we have a good idea of why. So I've said this many times in numerous streams for a while now that I still think the Pixel 5 needs to upgrade its camera hardware, its camera optics. They need to find a way to differentiate itself from the Pixel 4, the 4a, the 4a 5G, the Pixel 3, so on and so forth. I think they need to elevate their game. I think they need to elevate their game when it comes to camera quality and video quality, video stabilization. I've been saying this for a long time, but we're going to go through some of my old videos today and really see if that's the case. So before we do that, let's just like read through the rest of this article here. In a conversation with The Verge, Mark Lavoie, a former Google engineer who led the team that developed computational photography for Pixel phones, explained that changes to the hardware are offering diminishing returns, and in some cases come with their own problems. Lavoie said, quote, because of the God damn it. Lavoie said, quote, because of the diminishing returns due to the laws of physics, I don't know that the basic sensors are that much of a draw. All right. So he got more specific too on the subject of upping the number of pixels. He explained using a 96 megapixel camera or 96 megapixel sensor as an example that, quote, I don't know that going to 96 megapixels is a good idea. If you want to put 96 megapixels and you can't squeeze a larger sensor physically into the form factor of the phone, then you have to make the pixels smaller, and you end up close to the diffraction limit, and those pixels end up worse. They're noisier. It's just not clear how much advantage you get. And I think a lot of us know this, or at least a good amount of us do. The one thing that I preach a lot here is it doesn't matter how many megapixels are on a phone. I think that's more of a marketing thing than anything else. If it says 64, 48, 96, 800, 72,533, I think it's not until you actually take those pictures and kind of drill down into the details, compare it with another camera, how the quality is really going to be. Which is also why the iPhone, you know, and the Pixel lineup of cameras are still using much lower megapixel sensors. It doesn't mean that these bigger megapixel ones aren't better, but there must be some reason why Google, Apple, some of the best phones with the best cameras are still holding off. All right. Let's go ahead and continue on here. So the problem there is the form factor of phones. Make them thicker and you might get some benefit, but Lavoie notes that Nokia tried that and wasn't commercially successful. Another option is to use pixel binning, where the data from multiple pixels is combined into one. We've seen this on a number of phones, such as the OnePlus 8 Pro, which has a 48 megapixel sensor, but by default combines 4 pixels for 12 megapixel shots. I still don't really understand the whole process and how that works, but I still think a phone like the OnePlus 8 Pro is still not touching what the Pixel 4 and the iPhone 11 Pro offer. Lavoie notes that these sensors tend to leave visual artifacts and images, concluding, quote, whether they can really be adequately solved remains to be seen. So while Lavoie doesn't confirm the rumors of Google sticking with the same sensor, it might make sense for the company too. That doesn't mean the Pixel 5 won't have camera improvements, though, as there's still room for advancements in the software. We should find out exactly what camera the Google Pixel 5 has before too long, as it's rumored to be announced in late September or early October. That's the thing, though. I don't really know if there's a lot more room for advancement when it comes to this sensor. How much better can this 12.2 megapixel sensor get at this point? Have we, not we, but has Google, have the engineers, have the, the people who do all the computational photography, have they squeezed the most out of it at this point? I don't know. So what I want to do right now, though, is I want to go through my older videos. I want to actually take a look at them and kind of like, I've been saying now for a while that the iPhone 11 Pro has been my daily for a long time because the camera's been so good. Also other things, right? The battery was much better than my Pixel 4. The night shots were better than my Pixel 4, but we're going to take some time and actually see if that's the case. So, guys, you're going to sit back. I'm going to give some feedback while we do this. I'll have the audio playing so we can kind of all watch this together. If you guys watched this before, I'm sorry, but it's a good refresher for me as well to see how far the Pixel 4 has come against the iPhone 11 Pro. And if my bias that the iPhone 11, not even bias, I think it's fact that the iPhone 11 Pro is a better camera. But we'll watch this again and make sure that what I've been saying for a while now is still correct. All right, I got to put my headset on here. So the first thing I want to get out of the way here is the lens flare issue with the iPhone 11 Pro. You see just a tiny bit here, but this was a problem I talked about when I compared the 11 Pro to my Pixel 3, and you're going to hear more about it in this video. Otherwise, you have two phones here that took great shots in the day, with a few differences here and there. The Pixel 4 offers darker shadows, while the iPhone 11 Pro brings them out more. At 100% crop, you see a touch more clarity on the iPhone 11 Pro, but it's not worlds apart. You can also see how the Pixel 4 has deeper blacks, while the 11 Pro instead sacrifices that. So like, this is the one thing that bothers me with the day shots on the iPhone 11 Pro, and it's still apparent. I still get a good amount of lens flare when it comes to day shots. It's usually when you're trying to take a shot directly in the sun. So just one of the things that I think the day shots, if I remember correctly, were still really similar, but this kind of lens flare like is a big issue. Like that's a big deal. I remember when I first put a video out with the Pixel 3 and the iPhone 11 Pro, people were like leaving comments like, no, that's not, that's you're doing something. Those are the best comments. The best comments are the ones where people don't believe that I'm like, I'm making it up. Like you did it wrong. You took the picture wrong. Like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? But people want to defend their phones all day. So all right, let's continue on.
All right, let's get the intro out of the way because I got a lot of shit to talk about.
I miss making these videos.
Again, two great shots. And again, here's a bit of that lens flare I was talking about on the iPhone 11 Pro. Otherwise, both provide excellent results. And at 100% crop, you see better clarity on the 11 Pro with a hint of what looks like sharpening here.
Yeah, so like, I mean, obviously it's a bit brighter also on the 11 Pro. It does look a bit sharper because this looks way softer on the Pixel 4. It's not by a lot, right? And most people aren't even going to notice that, but when it comes down to these things, it's something that you need to start taking notice of. Oh, that lens flare is awful. I mean, the Pixel 4 has it too.
This time around, the 11 Pro is suffering from serious lens flare. You see it on the Pixel 4 as well, but it's no.
Why is my voice so like? No. This is like the evolution of Jerome. I think doing all the streaming has gotten like my personality to change
near
a bit.
What the 11 Pro exhibits. It washes out the black brick, and in my opinion, it makes the shot unusable.
I still agree with that. By the way, these shots were all taken in Long Beach when I was living in Southern California still. I think I had just, how long, when was this? September? No, this is late October. I had moved there now for 4-5 months or so. So these are all Long Beach shots.
There's a theme for this video. It's that both these phones take pretty great shots, both perfectly usable, especially for something like Instagram. If anything, you see the iPhone putting a little more pop in the orange here. At 100% crop, I see a few sharper spots on the 11 Pro, but other areas the Pixel 4 has a clear result, and then not.
Really, I like, as I look at this, they're both really good during the day.
Here we go again with the pops of color. Look at how red these fire hydrants are on the 11 Pro compared to the Pixel 4. What you like more is going to be personal preference, but I can assure you it wasn't that red when I took these photos.
Pixel 4 more.
You can also see what I mean about the lighter shadows on the 11 Pro in the brush here. At 100% crop, the iPhone 11 Pro offers a sharper shot and even deeper blacks over here, with much less noise.
This looks better though.
That the Pixel 4 is obviously having issues with. Now, I'm going to switch this up a bit and talk about indoor lighting and portrait mode for a second.
That's so my buddy Steven
was nice enough to take a few shots for me, and I will say the Pixel 4 has definitely upgraded in the portrait mode department. One of the things that struck out to me is how well the Pixel 4 handled separating the subject from the background. Honestly, a lot better than the Pixel 3. I'll have to do an official test, but I'm pretty sure I'm spot on with this one. Now, let's talk about white balance. The iPhone 11 Pro is shooting warmer with a yellowish tint, and it might not be that.
So let me actually bring something up here. So the Pixel 4, the Pixel phones are really good at changing the color temperature. This color temperature, when things look a lot more yellow, the Pixel 4 is good at cooling that temperature to make it look more appealing. Gives it like that kind of like, it makes things whiter, bluer, cooler. It doesn't make it more natural, but I do prefer this over this. This just seems like a more appealing shot, but if you're looking for something more natural, then you get this. Here's the thing though. If I took a shot like this, even when I do like my videos and stuff, when I'm color correcting, I will color correct to make it cooler so that it doesn't look as yellow as something like this. All right. I know I'm talking quite a bit, but like I want to put my 2 cents in, even though it's my own video. It's just things I didn't think about before.
Yellow under the conditions we were in, but it's more realistic than the Pixel 4's much whiter, brighter tint. Although honestly, I prefer the Pixel 4's lighting here. It just looks a lot cleaner. But the other thing is sharpness in the subject. Comparing Steven on the Pixel 4 and the 11 Pro is a huge difference. At 100% crop, the results speak for themselves.
Okay, so this is such a weird shot of Steven. If Steven knew I had him like this right now. Here's the thing I want to point out. When it comes to portrait shots, I just realized I don't need these earbuds. I think it's this that I don't know why I'm wearing earbuds. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is the Pixel 4 really did excellent in the portrait department. When you take portrait shots with the Pixel 4, the photos come out really good. And I think that telephoto lens has something to do with it. Now, for me to actually prove that, I'm going to have to take my Pixel 4a with portrait mode and then compare it to my Pixel 4. If that's the case, if the Pixel 4 is actually using the telephoto lens to provide a better portrait shot, we're going to lose that in the Pixel 5. So keep that in mind too. Hopefully, I don't just something just like food for thought as we go through this. All right.
In this second set, again, both impressive portrait shots, but the clarity on the Pixel 4 just stands out. At 100% crop, you can see the 11 Pro had a little trouble figuring out the hair, while the Pixel 4 seemed to nail it down. And just to close
So really quick, the one thing that I have talked about, I've always said that when it comes to portrait shots, the Pixel 4 did a better job than the iPhone 11 Pro, and I'm pretty sure I still stick by that. I would love to do another video like that, but again, making these videos, guys, takes like 12 to 16 hours, if not longer. If I had this as a full-time job and I made enough money to do this, this is all I do all day, but it is what it is.
Things out with the indoor lighting, white balance stuff, you can see the differences here. Detail and clarity is pretty much similar for both, but the 11 Pro definitely shows a much more realistic representation of lighting than the super white and bright Pixel 4. So as we start heading to low light and night shots, here's a few I took at dusk.
So those are two huge
Both phones
differences.
show drastic differences. I will say that the iPhone 11 Pro was definitely closer to real life lighting than the Pixel 4. This one again is probably
So let me ask you, when you look at these, do your eyes automatically say the Pixel 4 is better because it's the brighter shot? It's funny because I know MKBHD talked about that and said people usually just gravitate towards the brighter shot. And while this is a great shot, the one thing that sometimes bothers me with the Pixel 4 is when you take a shot at night or in low light, it comes out way brighter than I would like it, than I'd prefer. That's not always the case. It depends. It depends. And sometimes I just want a darker shot. I want people to know, like, hey, this is a night shot. This is like a moody shot. This is what I was trying to go for. I wasn't trying to go for like, but this isn't bad. It's nice. But I think there are other instances where it makes
probably
a
a
difference.
personal preference, but for me, I like the 11 Pro's more realistic approach here. Now, before you blow up in the comments, let me add that the Pixel 4 introduced a new feature that lets you adjust exposure and shadows on the fly, which is great, but we're working in auto mode here to keep things fair and consistent, so just keep that in mind. I know most of my regular viewers watching my work are more tech savvy than others, but I also know that most people don't fuck with the camera settings and just want to pull their phone out and shoot without thinking about anything else. Moving on. Now, if you preferred the Pixel 4's last dusk shot, what about this one? Again, you have a much more colorful, brighter sky, but this time you're dealing with a ton of noise that comes along with it. You can also see how the lights in this walk path overexpose and ruin the shot. Look at how bright the light shines.
Yeah, I mean, so like I remember this. There's so much noise in this shot here compared to here. Like this is a much better representation of a dusk turning into night kind of shot.
On the Pixel 4's walking path versus how well it's lit under the iPhone 11 Pro. Both of these night shots turned out great. I will say the things that pop out to me is a more contrasty image on the 11 Pro that I usually go for. You can see richer yellows here and a punchier shot overall, but at 100% crop, the Pixel 4 delivers better clarity throughout. And again, while both of these shots look pretty similar from afar, there is a bit of overexposure on the left side of the image with the Pixel 4, giving off a blue aura. But at 100% crop, the lit sign is less overexposed on the Pixel 4, including the interior light. Here, the color temperature between these photos is a little different. A little cooler on the Pixel 4, a bit whiter, even bluer in tone. Cropped, you can see better detail on the Pixel 4, but you also have a bit of a smoothing effect that might be taking away from the photo. The blue light also turns bright white with more of an unbalanced blue hue outside it.
Ooh, this is my favorite set. I remember taking these. I do miss California.
This is a great shot from both phones. This is actually probably my favorite in the set. The Pixel 4 does a bit more to brighten up the shot, specifically by the shadows in the trees. Regardless, both came out excellent, with the Pixel 4 taking the edge in terms of clarity. Now, if there's one thing that the Pixel 4 needs work on, it's the night sky. I think my biggest gripe so far is how noisy it gets compared to the 11 Pro. The rest of the shot might come out great, but if that sky is full of noise, I think it ruins the photo overall.
So I'm just going to interrupt there, because I think the thing that gets me is sometimes what I'm getting out of this is the Pixel 4 will try to brighten the shot up more than I think it needs to. I think that's the biggest issue. But now, if we're able to control the sliders and all that kind of stuff, that's great. But I think for me, I would rather that it tones that down a bit. Again, I want a night shot. I don't want people to think that I took that shot at like 6 a.m. when the sun was about to come up. Like, obviously, this is not that kind of representation because it's still a night shot. But the fact that there's noise in the background, that like this is like, you can see here, this is more of a black sky compared to like what's happening over here. And I don't know if it's street lights or what. I don't really remember specifically when I took that shot, but
you can just see what I can only call splotchy marks everywhere here.
Yeah.
Now in these next couple set of shots, you're gonna see the Pixel 4 overexposing way too much. You can see it in the
So like, look at that. Like this is way too much over here. You can see it here. I feel like I'm just going to say the same thing when I hit play again, but this looks so much better. This looks a lot more clear. There's more clarity is what I'm trying to say, than what's happening on the Pixel 4.
And here, while the iPhone 11 remains more balanced. And in this last set of shots, both would have been perfect, if not for the Pixel 4 overexposing on the left, washing away the green shrubbery along with it. The iPhone 11 Pro is definitely a great upgrade from last year's iPhone XS when it comes to its photo taking abilities. The Pixel 4 has stepped up its game as well, probably not as big a leap as the iPhone since the Pixel 3 already did so well last year. If anything, the 11 Pro's caught up with the Pixel in terms of low light and night shooting. I will say that the iPhone's offered some great clarity in its day shots, better than what I'm seeing on the Pixel 4, but what concerns me is the lens flare issue that's plaguing the iPhone 11 Pro. It's something the Pixel 4 has it beaten for sure. When it comes to portrait shots, the Pixel 4 has definitely done a great job in terms of sharpness and detail. Steps above what the iPhone 11 Pro is showing, but I have to do a little more testing to confirm. Just be aware that the Pixel's gonna change that white balance on you when it comes to indoor/artificial light. And as far as night shots, both are probably ahead of the game than most. Not all, but most, but their expensive price points also show for it. At dusk, the iPhone 11 Pro handled the lighting much better, and in a lot of instances, the iPhone 11 Pro also handled overexposure better as well, offering an overall balanced shot despite lacking the clarity the Pixel 4 portrayed. What's right for you? I guess it depends on how you shoot, and what you're shooting, and how deep your pockets are.
So it's interesting. I'm gonna go into chat in a second here, guys. But it's interesting because I still feel very similar about a lot of this. I still feel like obviously the lens flare thing is a big issue. I think when it comes to night shots, the Pixel 4, it looked like some of those shots still had great clarity, better detail than the iPhone 11 Pro, but the overexposure, trying to brighten up a shot when it shouldn't. I think those are things of concern. Maybe that's something that they're going to fix when it comes to a software update. Maybe that's all it's going to take. I really need to do a more in-depth with my 4A, with the 4. I don't know. Maybe it's been updated since then as well. So I don't know. Let me go into the chat though. Let me make sure I say hi to everybody and see what else is going on. So sorry guys, let me scroll up here. Who am I missing? Vaibhav, am I saying that right? Vaibhav Vij, how's it going, man? Vaibhav, how you doing? Hey, Jerome, how are you? I'm good. Big House Productions is in here as well. Vaibhav, by the way, welcome to the stream. Hey. What's up, Jerome and stream? What's going on? Big House, how you doing, man? Y says the problem is that there are newer 12 megapixel sensors. Why not use the iPhone 11 sensors? They're 12 megapixels too. That's a great point. That's the thing. I'm not really sure. I don't really know. I don't know. I have no idea. That's a great point to put up. Pratyush is in the house. Pratyush, how's it going, man? This more megapixel marketing hype is getting ridiculous if they can't back it up with good processing. I completely agree. Marcus A says director's commentary deluxe version. Marcus, how's it going, man? Welcome. Right? I didn't say hi earlier, did I? I don't think I did. Salwong says if it ain't broke, don't fix the lens. Yeah, I think in most respects I can understand that and respect it, but I also don't know if I completely agree when it comes to the Pixel 5, at least. CH Gadget says most of these new smartphones are doing a lot of binning, which is a process that uses a lot of processing power. Pratyush says binning also adds a step in processing pipeline, and if not done right, is bad. Thank you guys for pointing that out. Color shift is an apparent con of binning, I think. Lewis is in the house. What's up, Phone Jerome? What's going on, Lewis? How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Team Verizon says, Jerome, I dig your standard non-live YouTube voice. I think that's going to change over time as well. My standard non-live. Standard non-live. Oh, you mean like the ones that I do here? Pratyush says, for some reason, I like Pixel 3 camera better than the 4. Color science was not of my taste. Like they were too cool. I could see that. Paul says, doze mode, Jerome. Sandy, how's it going? Sandy, I don't think I've seen you in here before. The Pixel definitely needs a new and much faster camera setup with larger pixels and better HDR algorithms. I mean, I wouldn't say no. Anything that can improve for the Pixel 5, I would not disagree. So like they're doing roof work. I live on the very top floor of my apartment complex. So if you hear anything, I apologize. Brian says Pixels need to add updated hardware and refine that over the next 3 years. I also don't disagree with that. I'd prefer Pixel to add a new night mode with 2 modes, brighten up the shot or reduce noise level. That is a great idea, Pratyush. I like that. Sometimes I need a natural night shot with low noise, but Pixel to brighten up too much. I like that. That's not a bad idea. Marcus A says the Pixel camera needs a manual pro mode like Samsung. Can you guys hear that? I still remember shots I could get with on my S6 that still holds up because I could tweak the camera settings. I think Brian's actually talked about that as well with his Note 10 Plus. Team Verizon says, oops, I'm sorry. Team Verizon says, I like how the iPhone processes its photos. However, I gravitate towards the Pixel more. And I think I do in a lot of instances, but we have more to watch. So we'll go over this stuff. Pratyush says, I still shoot in pro mode on my OnePlus 3, outperforms many latest phones. That's awesome. That's great. But my OnePlus 3 is on its last legs, so we'll buy something this holiday season. There you go. Marcus says, I wonder if they gave up on Night Sight's upgrade with Lavoie's loss. That's a shame if they did. I think they still have enough people at Google, hopefully, that are smart enough to figure this stuff out. Jonathan Rivera, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Pixel 4 still won in my opinion, and this is coming from an iPhone 11 Pro Max user. There you go. We got more to watch though, Jonathan. So hold that. DMera TV, David is in the house. I'm late, but I'm here. David, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Mustafa is in here as well. Mustafa Galib. Galib. What's up, phone Jerome? Good to see you, man. Nice to see you too, Mustafa. Welcome to the stream. Gboy888 says Long Beach misses you too, Jerome. It was weird watching that because like Steven's a good friend of mine, and I just, he left too though. He's not in Long Beach anymore either. He moved back home as well. But yeah, it kind of gave me like those like it gave me the feels watching that. It's only been a year or so since Anyway, Krumshiran, hopefully I said that right. How's it going, man? What the pick needs is more versatility, triple cameras. I feel two ways about this. I don't mind triple cameras. I was saying this yesterday, right? I like that they're getting rid of the telephoto, or I said that the other day, but I want them to have triple cameras as long as they're quality triple cameras, Does that make sense? Like, don't just put a bunch of cameras in there for the sake of having it and then having them all be mediocre. But I would love to see that versatility as well, for sure. Demerit TV says Penthouse. David, were you here yesterday? Like, it's very noisy. David, I live in a shoebox of an apartment. This is like 375 square feet max. No, I don't live in a penthouse. Oh my God, Austin! Whoa, what? Wow, holy cow! Austin, how's it going, man? I'm sitting here showing old pictures from like guys. Austin is someone I used to work with. Austin was like my partner in crime in Long Beach. Wow, Austin, crazy to see it. No, it's not a penthouse. Not at $900 a month. Austin, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. I of all the people, I wouldn't have expected to see Austin. Very surprised. Fear the Rue 42 is in the house. Hey there, Jerome. Checking out the iPhone 11 Pro pics. I think they have now passed the Pixel. Too bad. Pixel, you had one job. I know. We're gonna go through that. Mustafa says, can't wait to see the 1-inch sensors on phones. We'll see if that ever happens. Brian is also in the house. Yo, what's going on, Brian from Facebook? Brian, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. And then Tana is in here. Tana, I have not seen you in a minute, man. How you doing? Yo, Tana is another Chicagoan. Please give a little love for Tana being in the house. If there are people in chat, you guys want to throw up some Chicago stars or the Chicago flag for Tana. And then Tana just dropped a $4.99 super chat. Been under the weather, not COVID. I'm glad to hear that, man. Hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully you're doing better. Good to see you. It's good to see you too, man. Again, like I said, we gotta figure something out and meet up. This goddamn. I know you heard that, guys. I'm sure you heard that. Anyway, Tana, nice to see you, man. Hopefully you're doing better. Hopefully, like, whatever you got is like wearing down. So appreciate you stopping by as always. All right, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's move on to this next video. Again, this is all these videos are going to be in Southern California. And it's just to really confirm whether or not the iPhone 11 Pro is still the better camera over the Pixel 4. But I mean, people already saw that first video and said, well, I still like the Pixel better. All right.
Yeah.
Now there's Arnold. Before I get like 8 million comments about this, I am running iOS 13.3, so it has that Deep Fusion update, and I am running Android 10 with its latest December patch. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the biggest difference between these two phones in low light. Color temperature. White balance. Yeah.
Look at how much cooler the Pixel 4 runs and how much warmer the iPhone 11 Pro is. In terms of photo quality, both do amazingly well. At 100% crop, you can see how the iPhone runs so warm you can barely pick out the blue and green lights on this wall.
Let me see here. Yeah, very true. I'm like trying to look. The shadows and stuff are a bit brighter.
Water tree or whatever it is. But both provide similar photo quality and both offer an excellent shot. For me, this comes down to personal preference, and the Pixel.
You know what's so funny? I just have to like point this out. The fact that like, so this was This was published on December 13th. So last, a couple months ago or whatever, almost a year. And because they don't have like Christmas trees or whatever in Southern California, they make these like lit up trees that they put in the water. All right. Anyway.
Pixel 4 gets my vote here.
Automatically, the 11 Pro already looks more natural. Like, look at this.
So let's keep this conversation going on about white balance. The Pixel 4 runs so cool here. You have certain areas all over this photo where it looks like a car is hitting the building with HID headlights.
So yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. This looks like there was a car with its headlights pointed towards that, but that I remember taking this shot, and this is not, it's like a street that goes down this way. It's not anyway, there aren't headlights. This isn't like, there isn't any extra light. This is the same kind of lighting scenario on both sides here.
But it's not. The iPhone 11 Pro looks more realistic overall, and at 100% crop, both provide great detail while the Pixel 4 offers a tad more clarity. But when we pan over to the right, you'll see a bit more overexposed.
Yeah, so look at that overexposure. There's also so much softness in this picture, but there is noise here when it comes to the iPhone 11 Pro, but there's smoothing going on. Look at the detail. This is how I should just do my camera comparisons. I should just do this. This would be so much easier because I think I can add more stuff. I don't have to like spend 10 hours making arrows for everything. But if you look at the detail lost here. There is no more detail in this architecture while it's here. Like that smoothing effect is real.
Lighting on the Pixel 4, as well as a lot of smoothing going on to
eliminate
background noise, but at the cost of detail in this shot. I'm going with the iPhone 11 Pro on this one. So here we are again with the Pixel 4 with its cooler tones and the 11 Pro running warm, but in this instance, the iPhone 11 Pro is more aesthetically pleasing to me. I just feel like it gives off this more realistic vibe than what the Pixel 4 is offering. This again is personal preference, but I'm giving this shot to the 11 Pro.
And I would still feel that way. I still think that this looks a lot better than what's going on over here. I think they really turned that color temperature too blue, too white, too cool.
And I will say this is a running theme. Again, the Pixel 4 here leans on a bluish, whitish tint, but in this particular set, it's way too cool for my liking.
And it's not even way too cool. You can see everything getting like brightened up towards the back here. It's like a level or two higher than it really needs to be.
The iPhone 11 Pro looks more realistic, even though a tad darker in exposure, but really comes off as the better balanced shot.
Aww.
Now, it's funny how the Pixel 4 has been running cooler, bluer tones, but here we are in this area with lights everywhere. But the iPhone 11 Pro really picked up on the blue overhead lighting and ran with it. Way too much. At 100% crop, you can see how the iPhone 11 Pro overexposes ever so slightly.
Yeah, the Pixel 4 is much better here.
Detail throughout the entire shot. Still, I give it to the Pixel 4. All right, again, I hate posing for this shit, but I have no other subjects to test, so it is what it is. The Pixel 4 here is a bit too aggressive with night sight. You can see the plant behind me is overexposed, and my skin tone just isn't right. The iPhone 11 Pro is more realistic here and gets my vote. I hate posing. Okay, so let's go through this real quick. Again, night sight on the Pixel 4 is just a tad too much. This whole left side of the pic is too bright. The iPhone 11 Pro not only balances better exposure-wise, but it seems to add a bit better clarity as well. So let's quickly run through these left.
So I still feel very similar to a lot of this stuff. Is the Pixel 4 is pushing stuff a lot brighter than it needs to be. I don't know if that's changed over time. I have to like really do a new video to test that out.
Set of shots.
But yeah,
I'm going with the 11 Pro here for, again, it's better lighting. The Pixel 4 tends to just overexpose.
I still feel the same way. This looks so much better.
This set I'll give to personal preference. Both do a great job here, but again, you'll see the Pixel 4 just a tad too high in exposure, at least for my liking. And in this last set, even though both look almost identical, especially in terms of color temperature and quality, I'll give it to the Pixel 4 for not blowing out the storefront lighting over here. Conclusion, they're both great shooters at night. They're the best phones I've ever used for night shooting. And I won't say either is perfect. I know some stuff is subjective, you know, personal preference, but I think when it comes to lighting and exposure, the iPhone 11 Pro handles it a lot more consistently than the Pixel 4. Now, if there's one thing that I could add to my wish list, it would be that the Pixel 4 could have night sight turn on automatically, instead of having to specifically choose it. And I say that because I think there are times when I think it's too dark, so I'll turn on night sight, but it really isn't that dark, and then it just overexposes or blows everything out. At least on the 11 Pro, it automatically decides whether or not the scene calls for night mode. Obviously, this is a case-by-case basis, and I know not everybody wants to have an automatic setting for night sight or night mode or whatever, but I guess when I'm speaking in terms of most people, someone like me especially who just wants to point and shoot with a camera phone, you know, I would say the only time that I ever use manual controls or mess around with it is when I'm using my DSLR. Otherwise, on my iPhone or on my Pixel, it's always automatic. If you like this video and you'd like to see more...
All right, sorry. Don't mean to put the marketing part in there. But yeah, I think I still feel similarly. I like the thing with the iPhone where when I take a night shot, I don't really have to like choose whether or not to turn on or off night mode. I don't know. I think that just depends on the person there. So okay, let me scroll into chat here. What do I Grant? Do I see Grant? I see Grant in here. Hold on. Amin says, I feel like the Pixel 1 has better video stabilization than the Pixel 4. I wish I had a Pixel 1 to test that. I don't have that to test, but I don't remember what video stabilization is like on the one. All right, let me scroll down here. Edgar saying the video feed keeps cutting. Anyone else? Hopefully you fix that. Edgar, sometimes you just got to refresh. I think other people have said that as well before. Grant says, stop mocking I'm not mocking California. Oh, about the water trees? I mean, it is what it is. You guys have good weather. We're going to have snow soon. Pratyush is out of here. Good night, guys. Pratyush, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, Brian says a few times buffering for me. Wonder what's going on with that. Grant says Pixel just needs variable night mode like the iPhone where you can change exposure length. Otherwise, I prefer the Pixel camera. Yep. And I know Grant is very adamant with that. I know he stands by that. And that's why I'm rewatching this just to get an idea of how I feel about a lot of this stuff. Okay, so let me see here. Let me scroll down. Is that blue steel? Jerome's favorite model. You guys fucking around too much. All right. Harsh Mystery is in the house. What's up? What's going on, Harsh Mystery? How you doing, man? Hit that like. Thank you, Harsh. Thank you so much, guys. If you haven't had a chance, please hit that like button. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. It's a great way to support. So thank you. Salwang says nice mohawk. Ishmael is also in here. Hey stream, hit the like, guys. Ishmael, thank you so much, man. Welcome. Good, Tana, no video issues. I'm glad to hear that. Fear the Roof 42 says my video is not cutting out, but I do think there's something wrong with my video. I keep seeing a giant hawk. Yeah, that's why that's why I just shaved my head. I never know what to do with my hair half the time anyway. So all right, guys, let's go ahead and let's move on. This is actually a video where I decided to instead of just taking it point and shoot, I did a tap to focus kind of thing. And it's usually what I do now when I do my camera comparisons. I always tap to focus on where I want the lighting to go. So obviously no tap to focus.
With autofocus on, you'll see a couple things going on here. Both phones are recreating a somewhat upside down mirror effect of this neon sign that I'm not exactly sure how that works. If someone wants to elaborate in the comments and fill me in, I'd appreciate it. The 11 Pro in night mode and with autofocus on blows a lot out. The Clancy sign, the sign directly below it, and even the cocktails lettering below that. You'll see it blow out a light on the left here too. The Pixel 4, on the other hand, is a lot more legible.
Pixel 4 is obviously a lot better.
Exhibits a lot of background noise in this photo. Here's the thing, if we tap to focus on the sign, these are the results. A much tamer shot from both. The one thing that keeps sticking out to me though is that background noise on the Pixel 4. It's really off-putting, and I'll get back to that in a second, but if you look at the sign below Clancy's, the Pixel 4 really pulls back on the highlights and it gives it a more even effect when it comes to lighting, and so it lacks, I don't know how you'd call it, light intensity. It makes things a bit less realistic, but again, I'll also get back to that in a second. So at 100% crop, you'll see the Pixel 4 uses more of a smoothing effect here. And it loses a bit of detail. The color is a lot more maintained though. Look at the blue here compared
Yeah, I was
to
gonna
the
say
11 Pro.
that blue's a lot
You can
better.
see what I mean about the evenness of lighting here. It kind of takes away from the realism of the shot.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is like you see everything just looks the same in terms of lighting. While this actually you can see like the highlights and whatever, and like I don't know all the terms for it, but you see what I'm saying here. Like it's just one kind of like even effect throughout.
It still comes out great, but I think it's important to point that out. And then here's what I mean about background noise. The sky isn't black, it's more like
Yeah, that's
black mixed
very
with purple.
that's very
purple
noisy.
splotches even. It's real grainy and again really off-putting. So again, with autofocus on, both of these came up pretty similar. Both have a haze from the streetlights above, more so on the Pixel 4, especially on the left here. And when I tap to focus on the yellow city center motel sign, again, the Pixel 4 really pulls from the highlights. It gives the overall shot like a flat look. It's not really what I was looking for.
There you
here.
go, a flat look. That's
You'll
a good
still
way to
see
put
the
it.
purplish sky up above, while the 11 Pro is more balanced throughout. In this next set of shots, both offer similar results, except the Pixel 4 goes for a cooler white balance here, while the 11 Pro is more accurate in terms of color representation at night. There's a bit of lens flare here on the 11 Pro, which is nowhere to be found on the Pixel 4. In this set, I tap to focus over here, which in this case really underexposed the 11 Pro shot and left the Pixel 4 better overall. And in this next set, both did a really good job here. You'll see the Pixel 4 pull back a bit on the neon sign's brightness, which
see, for me though, I don't like this. I feel like that's where that flat comes in. It kind of takes away from the realism of what is being shown here. Because I can tell you, this is a lot more realistic than what's happening over here.
also gives it a darker shot overall, but still comes out pretty nice. And when tapping to focus on that neon sign, well, we have a bit of the opposite. This time the Pixel 4 underexposes while the 11 Pro makes minor adjustments.
Yeah, I just don't
and in
like
this
that.
last set, okay, there's a lot going on here. With autofocus on, the Pixel 4 does a better job keeping things exposed, but it's not awful on the 11 Pro. By this Roscoe sign though, you'll see like a black banding that extends from the very
I
left
can see it.
all
You
the
can
way
see
to
it
the
right
very
here.
right, which I thought was peculiar. Again, the background noise on the Pixel 4 is really apparent and something I could definitely do without. When tapping to focus, both provide, again, a better exposed shot, but the 11
That
Pros
banding
is
is
about
still
the
here
best you
too.
could ask for. You know where the light intensity of this Roscoe sign is at. Below that, you'll see that as well. Bright in some spots, less in others, just more realistic. At 100% crop, both do really well with detail here, and with the sign below, notice again how the 11 Pro shows the realistic light intensity of this sign.
Yeah, I just have to point that out. You can see like losing this going away, this right here going away,
But
like
you'll
that's
also
god damn it. I didn't mean to do that. Like it takes away the realism. I don't like that. I totally forgot about that as well.
see much more detail, which is completely lacking on the Pixel 4 for whatever reason. And again, with more noise and grain in the background that I could live without, while the 11 Pro offers better detail here. So as you can see, tapping to focus can obviously do a better job than just the normal autofocus, especially when it comes to things like neon.
Okay, we're not gonna watch me talk. It's weird. Okay. Levin Williams with $1 super chat. Levin, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. How you doing, man? Thank you for stopping by again. What is sorry, I'm like my things in the way here. Thank you, Levin, for stopping by. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's move on. Okay, so this is for video quality. It's a much shorter video. It's only 3.5 minutes.
Today we're going to continue on testing video quality during the day with the Pixel 4 and the iPhone 11
Like, I'm looking
Pro.
this already.
In
This is
first
already
clip,
getting like,
right off the bat, the iPhone 11 Pro offers
oh,
a richer
you can't
shot.
see that.
You
There
get
you go.
some deeper blues in the sky and in the water. The ripples in the ocean are more prominent, and there's even deeper shadows towards the bottom here.
Like, the 11 Pro
Now,
just
the
looks so
Pixel
much better.
4's shot washes out a bit compared to the 11 Pro. You can see how that detail seems to lose itself a lot in the hills and the city in the back. Again, this just seems to be a case of the Pixel 4 holding its exposure a notch or two too high than where it really should. And this is going to be the narrative for most of this video, just like the night video I made comparing these two phones a few days ago. The iPhone 11 Pro gets my vote here.
I don't know why my mic sounds messed up there.
The second set is a little more on par with each other, but the 11 Pro, in my opinion, still beats out the Pixel 4. You can see the dark areas give it a bit more detail over here and here. Check out the clouds in the back too. The Pixel 4 just seems to blend in some spots where the 11 Pro clearly shows separation. Now, as we face towards the sun, the most obvious thing here is the sun.
The sun.
Look at how big it is on the Pixel 4 compared to the 11 Pro. Now, I can't say for sure which looked more accurate. It's not like I was sizing up the sun or anything like that, but that burst of light also widens the reflection in the ocean below on the Pixel 4. Facing away from the sun, both of these clips offer great video quality. They're pretty even in my opinion when comparing the two, and I threw myself in this shot as well just to compare both phones. My skin tone is just a tad warmer on the 11 Pro, but it isn't bad by any means, and standing in the shadows, both seem to pick me up evenly. That is, one isn't much darker than the other, and honestly, both came out pretty nice. Here again, you'll see the sun is a lot bigger on the Pixel 4 than the 11 Pro,
God, yeah.
but both shots expose similarly. And here I see two things. One, the hue of the grass on the 11 Pro is off. It's not like it's neon or anything like that. It doesn't seem oversaturated, but it's too bright. And two, the contrast looks like it's been dialed up some. I scratched that. By some, I probably mean a lot. It just seems a bit unnatural here, even more so when we zoom in a bit. Here again, we have two similar shots. You'll see that the Pixel 4 pushes up the shadows so you can see more in the trees here and here. But with that, you'll also see it wash out certain parts unnaturally, like the stone here, or even the yellow siding and sign on the window. Finally, in this last set, you'll see that overall both record video well in the day, but have their own characteristics. Here, the Pixel 4 really brightens up my face with the sun directly hitting it, while the iPhone 11 Pro brings that down, and again with a warmer tone. But detail on both come out nice, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, if the Pixel 4 could just turn the exposure a notch down, I'd probably be a happy camper. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, I've done a ton.
Okay. And then video quality at night.
Today we're going to talk about shooting video at night with the Pixel 4 and the iPhone 11 Pro. In this first clip, the most obvious thing is how bright the Pixel 4 is. This was taken at a super dark parking lot with barely any light except for what's out on the street ahead. You can see that the Pixel 4 starts to overexpose in the far left, and that's the trade-off here, a bit of overexposure for a brighter shot. In reality, this scene isn't as lit as the Pixel 4 makes it, while the iPhone 11 Pro provides a more realistic scenario at night. Again, we get more of the same here, and I will say this is going to be a running theme for the entire video. Both provide similar quality when it comes to detail, just one's brighter and tends to overexpose more than the other. Pixel 4, I'm talking to you. And here you'll see my skipping ass come through the shot, just so you get an idea of how people turn out in really low light situations. I will say I do like that I can see myself a lot better on the Pixel 4. As we move on, I'll probably be repeating myself because here again we have a brighter shot on the Pixel 4. You'll notice the lights get blown out towards the floor here.
Oh,
in this next shot, you'll see it overexpose the blue light a bit and by the grass as well. In shots like these, I just think the Pixel 4 is taking it a little overboard with brightening up the scene. And in some ways, so much so that the rest of the shot looks really grainy or hazy. I just don't think it's the best look. In this clip, I felt both cameras did really well. Again, similar qualities, a bit more exposure on the far left for the Pixel 4, but with the lights changing and going on and off, I feel that they both handled the changing exposure well. This shot also did a great job at night. Both turned out really nice. I will say the night sky on the Pixel 4 starts to gray out a bit instead of keeping its black tones, which is unappealing for me. And again, you get that here in this overhead clip. kind of a gray or even navy blue change in the sky. Still, both came out nice. I just think the Pixel 4 is exposing the shot a bit higher than it should. And when we move into super difficult lighting conditions, you can see the Pixel 4 really struggled to properly expose dark areas. It looks like just a noisy mess compared to the 11 Pro. Again, when it comes to just the dark areas,
like there's no
blacks,
level
the shadows
of like
the 11 Pro, it's just more
shades
appealing
of
overall than what
darkness.
the Pixel 4 provides. And here I put myself in front of the camera again just to see how well it'd be able to capture me. On the Pixel 4, I seem to
looks
just
so
blend
much better
in
on
with
the 11
background,
Pro.
where at least on the iPhone 11 Pro, you can still kind of point my whole image out. Finally, in this last shot, you get a good idea of how both really handle night shots. The Pixel 4 does its best to really.
So this is also what I mean. Like this is way too bright.
Brighten up a scene, even if it means overexposing or including some grain and noise into the video. And that might also mean changing like the colors in the sky here. The iPhone 11 Pro keeps things more realistic, maybe a tad underexposed, but I think that's okay for the realism in the shot. I just don't think the overexposure is worth it in a lot of these scenarios.
I've also made a number of other so I have video stabilization. I want to look at this video stabilization because it's been a while. Okay, so this morning I am doing a video stabilization test on the Pixel 4, which is on the left here, and the iPhone 11 Pro, which is on the right. I like that the iPhone 11 Pro has a wider field of view or wider angle here for their front camera. So I'm actually going to be doing the video stabilization test on the back camera.
And I weighed like 35 more pounds here.
Intro sequence, I'm using the front camera here. Again, we can test the audio and see if the Pixel 4 is still up to par. I did a video yesterday that showed that the Pixel 4's
really
audio
pinkish here
is so much
too.
better than last year's Pixel 3. But we're going to walk around here, just do a little testing.
Like the skin tone looks a lot more natural.
I'm just moving both phones at a pretty slow pace. It's beautiful this morning here. The sun's just coming up. It's pretty early right now. So I'm just going to take this right now at like a leisurely pace, because I'd imagine most people who are recording video, this is kind of the pace they're going to be walking. And again, I have both phones right next to each other side by side. One isn't further away from the other. So
the stabilization isn't as bad as I remember on the Pixel 4. I mean, it's still there, but it doesn't look awful.
They're just, it's the fairest test that I can put this through. I don't really know if there are steps here, but that's something I wanted to test. Now, I've done a fair amount of recording with the iPhone 11 Pro, and as far as stabilization, it's been pretty good. So I haven't had many issues. Okay, so I'm actually going to pick up the pace here, kind of just move a little faster just to see if I can be a little rougher with the stabilization, see how it can handle that kind of thing. I've relocated to a different area here, a little more busy, a little more street kind of.
Look at the light though. There's something going on, and I think I might have pointed that out before when I was. Well, I haven't watched this video in forever, but like, it looks like the light is just kind of coming in and out on the iPhone 11 Pro.
Noise. Found some stairs.
Do you see that?
We're gonna go down these
like
stairs
right
just like
here.
Not like
it happens here too, but not
just
that
go
bad.
down them. As I'm going down, just pay attention, take a look, and see how video stabilization is. I mean, from the way I'm looking at it, it doesn't look bad on both. I'm gonna go ahead and turn around and I'll go up these stairs.
Stabilization doesn't look bad on the 4.
Anything? Yeah, no? Or does it look the same? You guys let me know in the comments. Okay, that's it. Pretty cool view. I'm also winded from walking up like 10 stairs.
I don't get winded like that
let me know
anymore.
what you guys think. Let me know if one is blatantly better than the other.
All right, we're gonna leave it at that. I wanted to take some time, and really this was for myself. This was to like kind of see where things have gone with the Pixel 4. It's not bad. It's not bad. Maybe when I've been talking badly about the Pixel 4's camera, I think if anything, it comes more down to night.
I think it comes down to the night shots and how that can be improved. And it doesn't have to even be improved by a lot, but it can be better. I'm just trying to, maybe it's just a software issue that can be fixed. If that's the case, that would be great. That would be great. All right, let me see here. Harsh Mystery says, I really like realistic photos. It looks natural and not like just an oversaturated photo. It's a great point. Amin says, I think if Google found a way to add HDR plus to their video, they have a winner. Again, is that just as simple as a software update? Is that something that they have fixed over time? I mean, I made these videos back in November and December. Have they updated the phone? I don't need this anymore. Have they updated the phone in the last like 9 months? Maybe they have. I'm not. It's been a while. I really need to check it out. Brian says the iPhone has much better exposure on video. I can see that as well. Nick Coletti. Nick, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. My issues with the video on the Pixel has always been random bouts of lag causing the video to jump around. Sometimes smooth, sometimes janky, never consistent. Is it when you're walking around? Is that what you're talking about? Or is it just when you're, and what Pixel are you using? Do you think it has anything to do with the processing power? Because I don't know if I've ever really noticed anything like that. Have I? I don't know if I have. I'll have to take a look. But yeah, again, I just brought these things up because the whole thing with Mark Lavoie came out. Mark was saying we really don't need to update the hardware. I just don't know how they're going to improve the Pixel 5. And I think also a good thing to note here is how much better is the iPhone 12 going to be compared to the iPhone 11, 12 Pro, 11 Pro? Because 11 Pro has one of the best cameras around. Is the 12 Pro just going to have a minuscule, like minimal, like update to the 11 Pro, or is it really going to be that much better? Is it going to start to really leave the Pixel 4 or even Pixel 5 behind? Harsh Mystery says oversaturation also affects the details of the photo. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might, I think maybe to the point where you might be talking about like maybe over sharpening it, but I think that's because they try to do both at once. That, I mean, I don't know if it really affects the details that much by oversaturation, but I don't know much about that to really speak to it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've been too hard on the Pixel 4. I still think the iPhone 11 Pro does a better job with the Pixel 4 against the Pixel 4 at night. Video seemed similar in some regards, but like Brian was saying, that exposure, it did look better on the iPhone 11 Pro. And I think overall the exposure on the iPhone 11 Pro just seemed better. I should really take the time and make another test when it comes to that. Team Verizon says, as an Android guy, I'm excited to see the new iPhones. I am too. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can bring out, and especially when it comes to the camera, how much better it's going to be. Brian with the $1 super chat. Brian, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the support as always, guys. Thank you. Always appreciated. Today's a very different kind of stream. It seemed more like it was just a watch party. You guys just sat here and made me watch, or I just watched for my own entertainment. But it was to make sure that like what I was saying and what I speak about is still like ringing true today. But Brian, again, thank you for the support, man. Brian on a however many day super chat streak. Thank you so much. Tana also, I don't know if Tana's still in here, but I'll make sure to add Tana to the September super chatters. So guys, thank you. You know what? I feel like I didn't talk much. So I have a few stories here. We might as well talk about it. We might as well get this moving on still. We are an hour and 14 minutes in. So it doesn't even really feel like an episode of TNT Joe-Fi because I feel like I barely talked. So let's go ahead. Let's do a couple stories. Let's make this seem like a real episode of TNT Joe-Fi. I have this article from Slash Gear that says the Motorola G9 Plus. I have this article from Slash Gear that says the Motorola G9 Plus shows us what Moto's missing in the US. The Motorola Moto G9 Plus, by the way, I kind of am digging this color. This looks a little weird. It just looks small. I don't know, but it doesn't look bad. The Moto G9 Plus was revealed today with a 6.8-inch FHD Plus display. This device isn't quite as major a deal to us as was the release of the Moto G9, largely because of the price, where the Moto G9 was an extremely reasonable price at approximately $154 converted from Indian rupee. The Moto G9 Plus will be released in Brazil for, I don't know what that is, but converted to USD, converted to US dollars, that's approximately $468. All right. So let's see what this phone has with 468 bucks. A 6.8-inch FHD Plus display with a 730G chipset, which is the same chipset as my Pixel 4a. So already off the bat, this phone, this Moto G9 Plus is $100 more. With the same processor than the Pixel 4a. The first iteration of this device has 4 gigs of RAM, so even less RAM, and 128 gigs of internal storage. So at least the same amount of storage there. There is a massive 5,000 milliamp hour battery inside, as well as 30-watt fast charging. So those are some pluses when it comes to this phone. On the back, a set of 4 cameras, a 64 megapixel main shooter, one for the ultra wide, another for macro, and another for depth sensing. Here in the US, Motorola sells a whole bunch of Moto G7 devices, then the G Stylus, G Power, G Fast. To be honest, I don't even keep up with what Moto is doing anymore because they just have so many goddamn phones. The Moto G Fast is easily the most cost-effective device in the bunch for around $170. In the US, Motorola is also selling the Moto One Fusion Plus, the Moto One Hyper, and the Moto One Zoom, plus the advanced Moto One 5G. There's so many. Motorola's got a bunch of phones available with unique features via Amazon, like the Motorola One Action, Amazon Alexa, complete with Amazon software. I really, honestly, Motorola, it's too goddamn much. Nobody knows what phone to buy from you because you have too many models to offer. Instead of making like a super cheap phone, a mid-range phone, and then a like high-end flagship phone, I think those are the only 3 that you might need. I don't see the point in having so many goddamn phones. Motorola also has the Moto E in the US for $130, as well as the Moto E6. My God. If you feel lost, like Motorola has so very many devices available, you're not alone. Motorola, owned by Lenovo, is currently in the middle of a quote-unquote make one of every different size and spec device strategy, which isn't the worst strategy to have for one strange international mobile market at the moment. I don't know. I still don't agree with it. There's just way too many Moto phones. Motorola is making a bigger effort in the US to sell devices like the Moto Edge with cascading left and right sides to its full front coverage display. The Motorola Razr and Razr 5G with a foldable display. The newest Motorola Razr will cost you around $1,400 unless you want the 2019 model, which you can now purchase for $1,000. Don't get that phone, please. Don't. Not the Motorola Razr. No. We just talked about that yesterday and how much quality control issues that phone has. The Moto G9 Plus will be available in Brazil soon. Moto has yet to share info about a release date for other markets around the world for this particular smartphone model. So yeah, too many devices. No one can keep track. Motorola, change up your shit, please. This next article, I have a bunch of articles here with weirder phones or phones that I don't know much about. So this article from GSM Arena says the Vivo V20 SE is coming on September 24th. I know nothing about this phone. We saw leaked images of the Vivo V20 earlier this week, followed by an official teaser of the V20 SE yesterday. Today, Vivo's Malaysian branch announced the V20 SE will be unveiled on September 24th. So less than 2 weeks from now. The V20 SE. I don't even know what's in this. So there's no specs yet, except it's believed it has a Snap 665 with 8 gigs of RAM, and then a water drop notch display, a 64 megapixel primary camera, a 44 megapixel selfie camera, and 33 watt charging. So here's the phone. That's all I got. I don't know much. It doesn't even sound that entertaining, but for anyone that cares, there you go. The Vivo V20 SE. Moving on, this article from Android Central says the Note 20 is now discounted by up to $250 at Amazon. If you spent $1,000 on your Note 20, I feel sorry for you. I think by now we all know that you can get a Samsung phone for $200, $300, or even less before you can even buy the phone, because usually there's some like crazy trade-in deal or whatever. But what is the Note 20? $1,000? And so now you can get it for $750. The Note 20 hasn't been out for long, but you can already save as much as $250 on it at Amazon. Every configuration of Samsung's newest phone is discounted by $200 there. But select models also have an additional on-page coupon that can be clipped for a further $50 off, making their biggest savings yet and dropping prices as low as $750. To look at the Note 20 5G and Note 20 5G Ultra are remarkably similar, save for a few details. Blah, blah, blah. We have all the details here. 865 plus, a ton of RAM, the newest, latest, and greatest, 120 hertz display. But wait, that's not for the Note 20. That's just for the Ultra. Yeah. So you can get the Note 20 for $750. And then the Note 20 Ultra 5G you can get for $1,060. Which is a far cry from its usual $1,300 retail price. All right, moving on. We're knocking out these quick, guys. This article from GSM Arena is talking about another phone I've never heard of. The leaked HTC Wildfire E Lite. The hell is this phone? Where the hell has HTC been? Remember when the HTC Wildfire E Lite appeared on the Google Play console? No, I have no idea. I didn't even realize this was a thing. You'd be forgiven if you answered no. A phone with a quad-core processor and 2 gigs of RAM is hardly memorable. Yeah, maybe that's why I don't know anything about this. Still, the first proper image of the Lite has surfaced, courtesy of EvLeaks, so you might want to have another look. It's a classic design with top and bottom bezels surrounding the 18:9 screen. There you go. This is old school with the bezels. The back houses a dual camera. We don't have the sensor info, but the original Wildfire E had a 13+2 megapixel cam on its backside and a fingerprint reader too, even though some entry-level phones omit that. The clock on the screen shows August 20th, but if HTC did unveil the Wildfire E Lite on that date, we can't find any evidence of it. I don't know if anyone even cares about this phone. You can have a look at the full fat Wildfire E in the meantime. It's available in Russia and Africa and comes with a 5.45 inch HD plus screen and an octa-core processor. Harsh Mystery says, you put in a lot of work, you deserve all the success and more. Harsh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I really do. Those camera comparisons that I've done in the past, they take a ton of time to do, and most of the time it's like I make $2 off that video, which is a shame. I mean, it's not all about the money. I know it isn't, but it's like I can't spend all that time because it's not conducive for me trying to pay rent. Big House Production says Moto Edge for the win. There you go. Big House. I know Big House has, I don't think he has a slew of Moto devices, but he is a Moto fan. I mean, I used to be a Moto fan. I don't know if I'm a Moto fan today still, but I used to be. Amin says, if anyone has too many devices, it's Samsung. That's also very true. I've said that many times as well. Team Rai says, hey, Jerome for OT. HTC, now that's a name I've not heard in a long time for sure. I remember the wildfire from circa 2011 to 2012. I didn't even know. I didn't even know the wildfire was a thing. I had no idea. Grant says, I swear HTC is either licensing their brand or contracting manufacturers for a generic phone design and slapping their name on them. Sad to see. Yeah, I think you mentioned that before, Grant. I think HTC is they're probably a shell of what they used to be, for sure, definitely. All right, guys. Last story I have here. I don't know. It's weird. We're an hour and a half into this, and I feel like I haven't even done an episode. And it's because I sat and watched videos. So this article here from Android Police says Sony schedules the Xperia phone announcement for September 17th. It's almost certainly the recently leaked Xperia 5 Mark II. Wait a minute. Oh, the Xperia 5 Mark II, not the Xperia 1. Was it the Xperia 1 Mark II? Is that their flagship one? All right. The Xperia 5 Mark II. Sony has just announced an event for a new Xperia device launch. The company is being coy on what exactly is being announced here, but our guess is the Xperia 5 Mark II that we saw leaked last month. The event is set for September 17th, a week from today. The preview frame doesn't show much aside from some horizontally lit lines, but given that part of the Xperia 5 Mark II leak was an expected launch date of September 17th, we're almost certain that's what's being revealed. The phone is expected to be a baby flagship of sorts, equipped with a 1080p 120 hertz OLED screen, a Snap 865, and a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. So these are specs to, you can't turn your nose up at these specs. These are still good specs here. So it's a baby version of what? A baby flagship. Okay. So it's kind of like a flagship, but not. It's kind of like a OnePlus 8 and not quite a OnePlus 8 Pro. All will be revealed September 17th. That's 3 a.m. Eastern time, 12 a.m. Pacific time. So not the greatest timing for those of you who are stateside. You'll be able to tune in via the embed above or the link below. So yeah, not something for someone like me here, but again, I think that was the news that I really had today. There wasn't a ton of news when it comes to this stuff. So, or at least today, a slower tech day, I think, when it comes, or at least for Friday. I also feel weird. I feel like I didn't give you guys enough. I apologize for that. I feel like this show could have been better, but I really wanted to go through some of my videos and see what was going on, see how I felt about the Pixel 4. I really should just revamp and redo a lot of these camera comparisons and give you guys another run at how this Pixel 4, the 4A, or still my Huawei P40 Pro Plus fares. I just need the time. Anyway, Big House says, yes, I have the Moto G7, the Moto 1 Zoom, and the Moto Edge. I didn't realize you had all those. Jesus. Variety is good. I forget. Big House has 8 million phones. So does Grant. How's your Moto Edge screen? Seen people having issues. Big House says, oh, yeah, and the Moto Stylus. Brian says, hope HTC makes a comeback. I seriously doubt that, Brian. I mean, I could be surprised, but I wouldn't hold my breath for that at all. I really wouldn't. Big House says, I haven't had any issues, Grant. I've been running 90 hertz on it full time, and it's been great. That's good. I'm glad. So, guys, I think that's it. Again, I feel like it feels like it wasn't that exciting of a show. I feel bad, but that's it. We're an hour and a half into it. I feel like I can't even clip this stuff because it just wasn't as I don't know what I was expecting. HTC needs to stick with mid-range phones. What was the last HTC phone I owned? The HTC 11U. That was the last phone I owned. I owned the blue HTC 11U, and I don't even think I used it. I think I used it once or twice just to make a video, and I spent way too much money on it. I don't know. Sean says, thanks for the stream. You're welcome, buddy. I mean, I feel weird. I feel like it wasn't enough today. HTC went downhill after the One M7. There you go. I did I have that phone? I can't remember the last phone I had or the other HTC phones I had. I don't know. Okay. All right, guys. That's it for today. We're gonna kind of close it out here. Tech to Me Please is in the house. Is TCL secretly HTC? I don't know. Who knows? All right, guys. God, why it feels so underwhelming today? Is it crazy or did the show feel underwhelming? I feel like I owe you guys more. We'll do that Monday. I'll give you something more exciting Monday. Way more exciting. We'll go ham on Monday. It was crazy though to see Austin in the stream. Makes me wonder if Austin watches my streams. Austin is the guy that I used to work with back in Cali. Anyway, California. I'm sorry, Grant, not Cali. California. Okay. All right. Monday, I will be back. Ernie says, dude, why am I always catching this at the end? I mean, to be fair, Ernie, I stream at the same time all the time. Ernie, nice to see you though. Appreciate you stopping by, for you being here even for the minute or two. But guys, come back on Monday, 2 p.m. Central. We'll do it all over again. I will have more stories for you, something more entertaining, hopefully something more that I can rage about. But guys, thank you so much again for coming by. Come back Monday. We'll do it all over again. I just said the same goddamn thing twice. I am waving goodbye here, hitting the play button. I see. I can't even. I'm not even transitioning outright. Bye, guys. Have a good one. See you Monday.